Yep, yep. I want to get a call out here. Come on, I got my Call of Duty shirt on. We're talking about Army of Ones, right? I figured what more appropriate than put a little bit of Call of Duty love out there. Work at a small liberal arts school. We weren't an army of one; we were an army of two. But yeah, I mean, it's still a lot of the same challenges, and I totally get where you're coming from, and what you're trying to do because been there, done that. Yeah, so what we have built is an interactive campus map solution for higher education. The big benefit is it's a big recruitment tool, right? That admission can tell you that if they can physically get a student to tour campus, the likelihood of them applying goes up significantly. In fact, Noel Evans has put out data saying a physical visit is the single most important part of the recruitment process. So what we do is say, all right, you as a web person, how do you tie into that? And a virtual tour slash interactive map is a great way to drive people towards that. They can virtually get a sense of campus, the location, the layout, the buildings, the history, the pictures, things like that. And then depending on how you strategically place call to actions and things, you can drive them right into the request a visit, request information, talk to a counselor, things like that. So we use it, we pitch it very hard as kind of a recruitment tool, but it's not specifically because a map is useful for all audiences, whether that's alumni who haven't been to campus in 10 years and you've added 5 new buildings, or a student that's about to start and they really have no idea where their first class is in 2 weeks from today, right? Because school's about to start for everybody. Um, but to give you a little bit of background, because I think this is really neat and relevant, this company started because we built an interactive map for the school I was working for, and there was a lot of interest in it. We won a couple of awards, and somebody asked me, like, would you sell it to us? I'm like, I can't do that. I didn't have any legal bindings, but I just, like, morally, I couldn't do that. So we spent nights and weekends and rewrote the whole back end and built a content management system around it and a bunch of other things and, started offering the solution up to customers, to schools. And literally, I would say the majority of our customers are smaller liberal arts schools because it is such a perfect fit because you don't have the necessary development resources to build something like this. And how do you compete with the big guys? Well, we've kind of built a solution to really help you, put on a level playing field, if you will. A lot smarter person than me once said this, that higher education isn't in the business of software development. They're in the business of education, right? So, like, if you are a party of one trying to develop and build a system like this, like, it doesn't make any practical sense. If you're a big school, like, I'd kind of argue it probably doesn't make a lot of sense either. But it's not just building an interactive map system. Like, we've gone the extra mile, and we've got a mobile version, for mobile use. We've got the ability to embed the map into Facebook so that your audience can experience it on Facebook. We've built a 508 compliant version of the map so that you can meet those requirements by the state and federal government, because you go into a project like this and chances are your scope doesn't even include any of those pieces. And then that's where software development will tell you scope creep sits in. What you originally want to do, and the more you get into it, you figure, oh my God, this is a lot bigger piece than I thought. Um,
Yeah.
it is, and that's my challenge. That's my problem to figure out, so that it's probably majority of small schools. We've got a couple of big ones, but we've got 27, 28 schools now, and I would say at least 20 plus are small teams.
Okay.
It's just, I think it's probably a better solution for small schools because big schools do have some more of the development resources, and some reason they like to take on a challenge of doing something like this on their own, whether they should or shouldn't. Um, I finally realized, you know what? I was doing way too much of this stuff all over the place, and I said, you know what, Kyle, focus. What am I good at? What do I want to be the best in the world at? And it's like, it'd be pretty cool to be the best in the world at mapping because it's kind of niche, and anybody that knows, like, I've presented on SEO, I've done stuff on web analytics, I've done stuff on, I don't even know, email marketing. I used to do a lot of presenting on that. It's like, oh, that's good, but let me be the niche at one thing. That's kind of we've
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
taken all these expertise and our team has and really built around. Let's solve this one problem, make it the best thing. I would honestly say one of the reasons I like working with small teams better is because the way our product's set up, it's a software as a solution, it's a subscription base. I like building relationships with people like you and our other customers. And when we're talking to one person, it's a lot easier to build that relationship back and forth. Plus, I feel like there's less layers of bureaucracy we have to cut to get a decision made. It's kind of like, well, we want to do this. Like, do you like blue markers? Do you like red markers? What's stop style? And it's not like, well, I got to go back and talk to a committee about it. It's like, well, I am the judge, jury, and the committee. What do we want to do? I might talk to a couple peoples and get some references, but ultimately, it's kind of your call. And I'm an entrepreneur myself. Like, I appreciate and love that because I'm much more of the roll up my sleeves and kind of GSD person. And I think to be an army of one, I know to be an army of one, you kind of have to be that person too. You can't, well, maybe we should do this or maybe we should do that because if you sit around and do that long enough, nothing gets done. And wearing a jack of all trades, a lot of different hats, you kind of have to cut through the red tape, get stuff done, and move on to the next bleeding, wound that you've got to the fire you got to put out. I always considered myself a firefighter when I worked in higher ed. It's like my job was to firefight 9 months of the year, and during the summer I would figure out what are the big projects. Because you've got people coming all over the place. We got to solve this, and we got to solve this little thing. So yeah, I actually enjoy working with the smaller teams because I feel like they're a lot faster to work with. We can get something up and running in weeks and months instead of many, many months, sometimes a year plus with small teams.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
one of the big decisions we made when we started building out this is smart entrepreneurs will tell you, smart startup people will tell you that if you're going to do something, you have to do it orders of magnitude cheaper than what's out there in order for it to be a blazing success. So we looked at a lot of what the competitors do, and if you look at some of our competitors, I'm not going to name them from name just because I'm not going to give you that benefit there. But commonly doing an interactive map virtual tour product is tens of thousands of dollars, ballpark $30,000 to $50,000. Whoa, that's big money, right? But the truth of the matter is, a lot of their business model is based on the high upfront cost. We'll come in, do the videography, the photography, all that stuff for you, and that's where they make their margins. Where we're significantly different is we're a software provider, right? We realize because we've all worked in the industry, chances are you've got somebody that is a photographer on campus or a vendor that you work really close with that's going to be a lot better than somebody I fly in. If you need help with that, we've got those third-party resources too. Same for videography, right? Like, this is commonly a selling point I use. Is like, one, the person that you use, if they're not on staff and are local, they're A, going to know your institution better than somebody I fly in, and two, the chances of them having B-roll are a lot better. So we've built a different model. Pricing is usually $3,000 to $5,000 per year, depending on some specific details. The reason for that price point is because we knew we wanted to be below the RFP requirement. Let's save everybody a bunch of headache by trying to stay at a point where it's below. Some states it's 3, some states it's 5, some states it's 7. But if we're below that, like, we can get the ball rolling. We talked about this a few minutes ago, right? Like, let's make these decisions and do it. Let's not have to put together a bunch of unnecessary documents just because we want to get this rolling. And because we're subscription-based, we're able to offer that a lot cheaper up front. And the idea is, look, we want to work with you forever. It's my job to make sure that we're continuing to develop and enhance the product. So 3 to 5 years from now, you're like, why are we still paying these guys? Oh, yeah, because when I bought the product, it was the worst it ever was. Now they do all these cool things they didn't offer 3. It really comes down to the simple fact that because this is a very visual piece of your website, and going forward, I want to be able to sell what we did for you to somebody else. Like, I want to be able to pitch it like, look at this great work we did. Don't you want to be doing this too? So it's very important for us to make sure that what you have looks great. not only for your sake, but it's my reputation on the line too. So we do work very, very closely with you, and you'll find a lot of times as you're trying to do 10 other things that you'll get an email from me, hey, let's tweak this. Let's tweak that. Hey, have you taken a look at this new thing we've rolled out? Simply because I want our customers taking advantage of that. And, you know, to the long-term partnership, I think Tim Neckeritz termed it a partnership. Like vendors should be partners with schools. And I love that. That building that relationship with you, that you're going to think 3 years from now or 2 years, well, look at all we've done with those guys. They offer a great product, but I know I can trust them. I know I can work with them. I know if I've got a problem, I can call Kyle up, or I can call Todd or Nick or Michael up, and they'll take care of it for me. And I think that is so important, because being from your side of the fence, I'm going to go ahead and throw something out there that's probably a little controversial, but vendors treat higher ed people pretty crappy, I think. There's a lot of vendors that just do a horrible job. They get in, quick sell the people that don't really know what they're buying, and it's just a horrible experience going forward. And we don't want that to happen. I'm very adamantly against that. I'm more of the, let's think long term instead of short term wins. You have to. You have to.
Yeah. And I think that that's the best. It's good customer relationship management. It is really good customer relationship management, and I think that that's, aside from you guys providing a service that's very, very needed and important right now for us. I like to count you guys friends, and I like to count y'all. We know that we can help each other out, and I think that that's an important thing. So,
Absolutely.
That's all my questions. Do you have anything you want to add? Tell us the website so that people can
Well,
look, or how we get a hold of you.
nuCloud, like the cloud technology, but new is when we started this company 4 years ago. We thought that was fun, but NEW just didn't sound cool, and NU sounded a lot cooler. So yeah, that you can find me on Twitter at Kyle James, KyleJames, .edu guru. I'm all over that place. Whatever you need, whatever you want, I'm here to help. I love this community. Hey, I see a cloud there. Yeah, we offer these little stress clouds for armies of one, so that when you're having a stressful day, you just squeeze the crap out of us and take it out that way.
I just thought about the fact that I had my little dealie from last year. So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and slap koozies at home, but that's where I drink. So
We've got a whole bunch more of those coming to the High Ed Web conference in Milwaukee, because
well, that's,
think about us when you're drinking too.
yes, because like or not, you're probably right there.
If
But
you're
we
like
will
me in my
see.
years higher ed, I'd always come home and have a nice G&T. Andy Carriaga would appreciate that.
Maybe I'll need to get the crystal etched glasses next year. Well, thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it, and we will see you at Hyde Web, right, in
Absolutely. Oh
Milwaukee.
yeah.
Okay.
We're coming in with a big. We actually got a booth this year. I'm kind of excited about
Uh
that.
oh. Uh
We're a
oh.
small shop. This is how That's why I love working with other. Like Ron and you said on your intro, y'all are entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
We appreciate that and love that too, because so are we.
Yeah.
So
So we will see you.
bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.